Hey everybody, Pathofexile here, and welcome to a new video. So it's been a while, like 4 months now. I took pretty much part of last league off, and really the majority of this league. Just kind of been playing here and there, off and on, and just decided to kind of get back into it, start making videos. I've been playing the Fulcrum Self-Ignite build. That's what I played for the most part of last league, towards the end of the last league. Super fun build. They obviously took the Energy Shield Mastery and switched it so you do have to use a ring. I'm going to make a separate video on the build guide of the build I'm using, but this one is, as you saw in the intro, it's a little clickbaity, but I mean, it really did happen. 1900 divines, a whole stack of unrequited love. It's right here. It's a pretty lucky drop. If any of you have been watching Snooze videos, he did 1,000 maps using this strategy. He didn't drop a stack once. RIP to his RNG. But yeah, it happens, right? 1900 and I mean, I'm playing in standard. I was just going to preface that, right? But 1,969 divine and one drop, right? It's pretty crazy. Each card's 120 divines. I can turn it in, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to kind of keep it because it's my trophy, right? It's the most I've ever made, ever, really. I've never dropped a mirror, as I'm sure most of you haven't either. If you have, more power to you. But yeah, I don't know that I'll ever turn it in. Maybe one day, but I just want to go over the strategy so you guys can, experience this as well. Dropping this is obviously not common. It's probably one of the most rare drops, if not the most rare drop. Just drop one, let alone have the completion thing proc for that drop at the same time. So basically what it is, Fortress seems to be the best map because it already has barrels in the map, so it gives you more chances. As you saw in the clip, that dropped from barrels. It didn't drop from monsters, so having a rarity quantity on your gear does not affect the barrels. You can, do a magic find character with this as well, so you can get more stuff from the monsters, but the barrels, it doesn't help. So what you do is roll Fortress map. I just type in barrel, or BARR, and you see area contains 31 additional clusters of highly volatile barrels. That's the mod you want to look for. Outside of that, you want to try and get as high of quantity as you can, and then, try to get about 70% currency, get scarabs, stuff like that. The rest of the mods, it really just depends on what kind of build you're playing, right? This is pretty much the best one that I usually try to run. I can't do any kind of, cannot regen, reduced effective non-cursoras. I can't do that. So trying to put a regex in here for how I roll the maps. I'll put the one that I use, but it's going to be dependent on what build you're playing. Snooze, his is way different. He can't do a lot of the mods that I can do, and vice versa. So just to preface that, right? But so the scarabs, you're going to use Divination Scarab of Completion. As I said, I'm playing the standard, so the prices of stuff is going to be a little different, but this one scarab is about 1 to 1.2, 1.3 divine. Buy them in bulk, probably about 1.8. So say, under 2 divines. This one is the expensive one. So this makes it basically cost about altogether like 17 to 18 divines, maybe 19 depending on the completion scarab, every single map, right? Plus you have the cost of the map itself, which is about 2 divines. So let's just call it an even 20. So it's expensive, right? But this can happen. You drop one of these cards, you're looking at 120 divines. 7 years bad luck, they do drop pretty frequently. You get a full stack of those, it's like 80 divines. I think they're like 6 or 7 divines each in standard right now. And then just regular divination scarabs. You're in 2 of these, one of those, and then a well-rolled Fortress map. And then for the Atlas, it's your standard, back to basics Atlas, right? You take all of these. I did put a little bit more quantity in there just because I had extra points, because you can't do any loop mechanics when you're doing back to basics. Take all the scarab nodes, every single scarab node, block every single scarab on here, so that way it gives you a better chance of getting the completion in Curation Scarab, and just some of the other ones that are actually pretty valuable, 3-4 divine scarabs. Take all the map mods, increased map effect, increased effective explicit modifiers on your map. So there's this one here, there's this one here, and this one down here as well. Pretty much it, and it's pretty standard back to basics Atlas strategy. You can take a picture of it. There's tons of examples of it on Max Roll as well. As far as the maps go that you want to use, because in case you don't know how this one works, basically you get 10% more divination cards per different favorited map. And then they can drop from the areas of those favorited maps, right? So you want to pick maps that have good drops. So you go for Belfry, Crimson Temple, Defiled Cathedral, Foundry, Grave Trough, Maze, Reef, Residence, Shore, Stagnation, Sulfur Vents, and Vault. So those are the maps you want to favorite in here, and that way it gives you the best chance to drop a wide variety of cards. The fortunate cards drop all the time. There's just a ton of different cards. Right? I'm not going to go through all the divination cards that can drop. 7 Years Bad Luck, as I said. You can drop an Apothecary because you have Crimson Temple in there, and I think Defiled Cathedral drops Apothecary as well, if I'm not mistaken. But you can look up what all the specific cards that drop and where they drop, what map they drop in, and switch it to whatever you want. So we're going to go ahead and run this map. I'm going to put these back in my stash so I don't lose them. You can drop Mad King, which does give you these as well. I still haven't got a full set of Adorned, but I'll go over the Adorned setup and the build in a separate video. I'll post probably in a day or two. All right, so I also obviously just take quantity because you want as much quantity on there as well. Pretty good Scarab roll, so I might get a Curation Scarab. We'll see. Using like a bow build technically probably is better just because of clear speed, right? But this build, it's, oh, there you go. That one's pretty good Scarab right there. Playing it with this build, the maps do take a little longer. So as far as the filter goes that I use, you can see all these different Scarab or divination cards dropping. Do whatever Scarab you, or whatever, whatever loot filter you prefer to have. I like using, getting all the oils and stuff. Oh, there you go, completion. 2 divines right there. It'd be real nice if I dropped another stack of Unrequited Love here. Snoo would, if he saw this, he'd probably like perma-ban me. But yeah, volatile cores, just gotta stay from those if you do have that on your map. Lightning coils, that one drops. I turned that one on so I can try and double corrupt lightning coils. What was that? What was that? Yeah, good one. Oh, yeah, whole stack of fortunates. So there's 2 divine right there. These guys are probably gonna kill me. Yeah, I'll come back for them later. Yeah, it's generally just the barrels, really. Monsters do drop stuff every once in a while. This one I gotta actually kill something eventually to get the ignite on me. Another fortunate. Yep. Yeah, as you can see, I mean, it's, especially using this build, it makes it pretty easy. You can just literally walk around. There's Mad King. Another 10 oil. I'm turning a bunch of those, so I've got a stack of 10 gold oil, but I'm sure I'll have them eventually. And if not, then you just turn them all in and, you know, upgrade them. Get gold oils. Do that to sell them. It's really nice just having literally an actual one-button build. Literally don't have to press anything. I'm not going to pick up all these. I'll go back and pick them up once I'm done, but it's really just about going after the barrels, honestly. As I said, you know, the monsters do drop stuff every once in a while, but oh, this is volatile, of course. Get you every time. See if we can drop a 7 Years Bad Luck stack or something. Admire, that's the one that, oh. Admire is the one that drops the Adorns. That thing's coming after me. 12 Hoarders, oh, Brother Stash. Moment Orbs. I mean, it drops so much bubblegum currency too. I have it all turned off in the filters because I don't need it, but If you have a looser filter, you'll have a significant amount of bubblegum currency. Chromes, Jeweler's Orbs, Fusings. I mean, it drops so much stuff, especially if you have a currency roll. We got 220% more currency on this map. Not a terrible roll on Back to Basics. Could be better, but usually getting close to like 100, 100 barrels. Oh, yeah, okay. Hopefully get like one semi-decent drop. I mean, a full stack of Fortune, it's nice. Except, you know, it costs like 20 divines to run the map, so a stack of Fortune actually isn't really that great when you consider the cost of the map. Alright, the dragon. There you go. Oh, double Fortunate. Yeah. As I said, you know, dropping the Unrequited Love and then also having it luckily proc. It's, you know, it doesn't happen. Not often at all. Mad Kings, I got a couple stacks of those. That's how I got those ones. I will legitimately always pretty much pick up every single card, every scarab, just good in there. No. Just to turn them all in. So, actually doing the maps, you know, it's a relatively slow process. Actually picking up all the loot actually takes even longer though. But you know, you can tighten up your filter if you don't want to see all this stuff. But if you're in here and the map costs a lot, every time you want to run it, you might as well get the most currency out of it that you can. This build, it's almost impossible to kill the boss. There's pretty much zero single target on here. So that's the other advantage of playing like a bow build or something that does have a lot of single target damage, is that you can get the jewels and stuff from the map boss. As far as barrels go, looks like it's pretty much cleared. So, but yeah, as you can see, you know, it's pretty simple, especially with this build, just, you know, literally walking around and just auto bombing with Detonate Dead and igniting yourself and blowing up monsters. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the build. If you have any questions, definitely leave me a comment. And as I said, I'll put a build guide out for this Self-Ignite Fulcrum build probably the next day or two. Now, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, and please consider subscribing, because it really does help me out.